That's really weird. All right, we are live, and you probably just started it like that.
Yeah, that would be an amazing intro.
That was really weird. Our lighting is very orange. What happened? It wasn't that way just a minute ago.
I thought I said it.
No, it's good. We're live now.
Yeah,
What's up, church?
Oh,
We are live. Hey, I'm here right now, just sitting with Ramsey.
yep.
We
church.
are going to take some time. Oh, who knows how long we'll be here, but we're just going to be talking about our missions trip that we were on, sharing some stories, sharing some pictures. We're having a pool party at my house right now.
Yeah, so we're gonna see a lot of kids that come in that kind of look like they're drowned rats.
Yes.
We're not drowning them; they're doing that intentionally.
So give them grace as they're dripping wet and.
Yeah.
But I told them all, like, we don't want to share stories. Too bad.
Yeah.
So we're just going to talk about the things that we did, share some moments. We're going to look at some pictures, some different things, and I may just show up a random picture, and then we're going to play like caption this picture. Like, what's going on
That's
here?
gonna be bad.
Some of it might be good. Some of it might be bad, but I'm going to start. Ramsey's here with me first. Since you haven't jumped in the pool yet, you can kind of be our first person.
Yeah, I can be the announcer and kind of like the one that recalls a story. So like, what do you think, Mark? What should I go? Should I go lofty? Should I go kind of in depth? Should I be?
So let's just start with a funny moment.
Okay.
So talk a funny moment, maybe that I don't even know that happened.
The funniest,
Not too. Some of your guys' stuff I do know. A funny moment that's appropriate for sharing in this space.
Okay.
Yeah, and people are still walking in, so it's okay.
So I think the funniest moment that I had was a guy that was on the trip by the name of Kevin. Pretty much every moment that I had that was funny was linked to this rapscallion who was
rapscallion.
This man was 22 and was soulless and dead like a 29-year-old. And Kevin, if you ever watch this, which I highly doubt it, I love you to death, dude. But you genuinely, like, he needs to be a comedian. He needs to do something. But I am laying down. I'm having a pretty deep conversation in our room. I've got Mark Beerhouse. I've got Nick Persha. And we're just kind of like quieting down for the night. And all of a sudden, since we kept all the windows and doors open, because I don't know if anybody knows this online, but Guatemala doesn't have AC normally.
Nope.
So it's pretty hot, and all of us sleep pretty hot.
Mm-hmm.
So it became a sweat fest pretty quickly.
I had a fan.
Yeah, great. You also have a wife, Mark,
I did. I had a room with my wife and a
she-
fan. Yeah, and she doesn't produce much body heat.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Good to know that.
cool.
Yeah.
It was just
It's
best.
biblical, folks.
Yeah.
Biblical. So I was just laying down and we had the door wide open, defenseless, I will say. Very vulnerable. I was on the top bunk. And all of a sudden the shadowy figure steps into frame of the door.
Oh.
And just stands there for a second. And I'm like glaring, I'm glancing, I'm trying to figure out like, who is this? And then I finally have my eyes adjust and notice that it's Kevin.
Oh.
And Kevin's just standing there, just staunch.
Yeah.
just
So Kevin is the most deadpan person.
Yes. So if Kevin were here right now, I got to really compose
This
myself.
is an interesting thing we're doing right now. Like just the whole time. Yes.
Hey guys.
Very deadpan.
So imagine that. And he's a little bit shorter than me, but standing in the doorway. And so I say, hey, Kevin, what's up, man? And this is 10:15 at night. And he just goes, the boys clogged the toilet.
The boys clogged.
The boys.
Oh, no. We're starting off right away with this story.
So I won't go into full detail, but Kevin was locked in a room with 8 high school boys from the middle of Virginia.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody out there understands the depths of crazed insanity that happens when you have 8 high school boys locked in a room. But I got to live next to them for a week.
Yeah.
In that time, we had a lot of screaming matches where I think somebody was getting wrestled. And Kevin, for the first time in my life, I think became undeadpanned. I got him to smile twice.
Oh.
And I recall that there was an event going on because of this clogged toilet. And through the walls, I just hear this muffled, use your feet, use your hands. And I think for that night, there was 4 events that happened that I turned purple. I almost puked. And I was laughing so hard that I genuinely thought that I was seeing stars and that like God was speaking to me for a
I love
second.
that this is the first thing. We're not talking about,
It's the
man,
best
all
thing.
glory to God. We built these homes.
You
We
said
changed
something
lives.
funny. Don't set me up for failure. I am Icarus
and we're
right
talking
now.
about the time that the toilet was clogged.
Yes. And
Not about the life of a family that was changed, but a toilet that was changed.
why are you getting like enigmatic here?
I'm not. I just know that people are starting to watch him like, what are we talking about at this moment?
I mean, it's
So we'll get, as the night goes on, we'll
Yeah.
share more of that story because that is a ridiculous,
genuinely the funniest thing I think I've ever been a part of.
a ridiculous story. But let's just talk first off. What are some of the things that we did that we were able to do?
It's hard to understate the fact that we went out there, and I don't think we just built houses. I don't think that we just gave away meals. I don't think that we just gave away cleaning supplies, because at the same time that we were giving away meals, we're also giving away cleaning supplies. We had the ability to relate with people and have a very precise metric by how to say, hey, you're a person, I'm a person, we are equal.
Yeah.
You know, the barriers of language were gone, the barriers of race were gone, and I don't know how else to say this, and it sounds like something, you know, you just hear in like a travel magazine, but if anybody out there hasn't been on a mission trip, you need to go on a mission trip.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
that is life-changing. And I thought that I was kind of like semi on fire for God before.
Yeah.
No, like that whole week I got to rediscover what it means to like love God,
Yeah.
and especially love his people.
Yeah. So we did a few different things. One of it was we partnered with a school. We were there almost every day.
Yeah. I think it was every day for lunch pretty much, except for travel days.
It was really cool just to see there's this small space in kind of a lower income area, and they're trying to help these kids to build a foundation in education, but they do it from a Christian perspective.
Yes.
A biblical perspective. So it's really great. We got to be with them for a few days. You'll see us laughing from time to time because the crew is on the other side of this camera, making faces, doing silly stuff. They'll all pop in here and there. But that's why you'll see us laughing. But we got to partner with this school. We got to do some things. I'm going to pull up. Let's just see where we're at on this. So that's not a good picture. Let's kind of
that's definitely not.
That's like somebody's trying to be creative.
That's like a Bible study thing. Like that wasn't even really. That was at the hotel.
What is this?
Yeah.
Let's push play on this and see where it goes
next. Pretty
next.
Weak, honestly.
It's pretty weak.
That's a little better.
Oh wait, let's pause here. Whoa. The food.
Yeah, the food.
Everybody's always taking pictures of the food.
Wow. What is up with these glamour shots?
I don't know.
It's scrolling.
Okay, let's
back
pause
and
right here.
forth.
Let's talk about this.
Okay.
What is this?
So, for every single meal that we had a delicious breakfast that was handmade by the staff there. And in this image, we have on your semi-bottom left. So everybody knows what watermelon and eggs look like. So I'm not going to say what that is.
Yeah, but what is this?
That would be beans, frijoles.
Are you sure? That looks like...
It does look kind of like some doo-doo on a plate, I'll be honest. But it's delicious.
Those are the beans.
We also had plantain, which is to the right of that, above the eggs, below, I believe that is peach yogurt.
Okay.
Which I will say the yogurt's better over there.
Yeah.
A lot of things are, but especially the yogurt.
Okay. Well, we stopped at the food for a second. There's some people that are eating. Lots of pictures of eating.
These
for
are
some
really
reason.
creative. I think people just got bored.
People just got bored and started taking pictures, trying to get to something good.
Some of these shots are like stalkers walking up.
I don't know what's happening. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Look at the intrigue of your face right here.
The pseudo determination, I would guess. You know,
you're determined.
Yeah.
There's a lot of joy, like not joy, but like I think this is the first day.
I think it is
because there's no like
sunburn.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
It's just a picture of people on a bus.
Mm-hmm.
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
Oh wow, I know that guy.
Yeah, I know that guy too. Oh. I'll talk this story.
Oh, there you go.
So this is us going straight up a hill.
Mm.
This is not fun. We were going to our first work site, and they took us to the wrong one. And the wrong one happened to be straight up a hill.
Yeah.
I was not a big fan of that. We walked straight up this hill, and we get to the top. And we're ready to go to work. And I've done this before. And so I know when you show up to a site, what the site should look like. And when I showed up to the site, it looked like nobody had prepared anything.
Yeah.
And we had carried up these big, stupid things of water that are heavy.
Yeah, we had 2 men or 2 women on both of these. Don't look at me like that. Sorry, our camera crew got very upset.
Yeah, we were carrying up these heavy things of water. Mm-hmm. We get to the top, and they're like, "Oh, this is next week's space."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "We carried all this stuff up. Joy of the Lord is my strength. Let's go back down." And then what I immediately thought is, next week's gonna be horrible. Somebody's got to walk that walk because there's no truck that can get up there to get all the supplies.
There's not even motorcycles because some of those areas they would have little steps for like bikes to get up. And this is a steep slope.
Yeah, like this doesn't really do it justice.
No.
At all. Like you can kind of see the steepness here, but I promise it does not actually show how steep it was. Yeah. Everything there, you look at the temperature and you're like, it was way hotter here today than it was there.
Yeah.
But it's just like muggy.
Yeah, and there's never like here it kind of gets a little bit cooler during the night. There's some dew that forms on the grass. But over there, it like the dew point almost seems pretty high.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do to get away from it. It's just a consistent kind of sticky.
Yes, it is consistently sticky. All right, I'm going to bring someone in with us to join the crew for a minute. And like I said, a lot of them are eating.
Yeah.
But too bad. They're going to have to join us anyways. Somebody that's available. Elijah, my son, is our runner. He's kind of just grabbing people. And
yeah, we would have him on here, but sadly he didn't get to go with us this year.
He did not get to go.
I was very upset. We called him one night and we were on FaceTime and he looked at me while my hair was braided, which thank you girls for that.
I'm sure we got a picture of that.
Yeah.
Just choose one person. Yeah. We're going to get another person in here to share some stories. Who we got coming in? Mm-hmm. You might have to move a little bit. Oh, Mr. B's coming.
Mr. Beerhouse.
Here's your microphone.
I got to say, it's the longest haired man I think I know.
The longest haired man you think you know.
Yeah, they straight up braided my hair.
There he is. Scooch in. Would be family.
Sorry, we got.
It was beard hair, but it was hair.
I'm glad it's not something else.
Back hair?
Yeah. Let's get away from the back hair already.
Well, I mean, you were able to see. We had literally this much space in between our beds,
and I was top bunk.
And he was top bunk.
I'd wake up in the morning. I just gaze across at what looked like a bear.
Lovely golden locks of back hair.
That is disgusting.
It was beautiful.
The things that we're currently sharing.
Yeah, to an audience of 18 people
that are trying to hear about the
glory of God.
The glory of God and the love that we shared. And we're talking about back hair and clogged toilets.
I mean, God did give you that back hair.
He did. So. He blessed me with that back hair. One of these days, son, maybe you'll be blessed with back hair.
That's a glory to God that I don't want to sing, brother.
Come on.
All right. So, Mark, everybody gave you the kind of nickname Mr. B. What you've had probably an expectation going into the trip. What did the trip meet it? What was something you took away? Like, just talk about it for a second.
I would say it blew me out of the water. You kind of expect a few things that are going on, but it was like I was snot crying every single day. And it was sometimes because the concrete was that difficult to mix.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you forget how old you kind of really are.
Yeah.
We had a couple talks about that.
Yeah. But then just like Lucy, I mean, she was.
So tell
amazing.
Us who Lucy is.
Lucy was our family's. We had 2 different sites. You had site 1 and 2, and then site 3 and 4. And each one of those sites had 2 houses that they were building. And so our family was Lucy, and well, that was the youngest one. She was, I think, 4, 5.
I think 5.
5. And so she was just. It didn't matter what was going on. She just loved life. And she was just the absolute sweetest girl. She came in, as you came in that morning, she came up and ran up and give you a hug.
Yeah.
And before you left, she was giving you a hug and she was crying because you were leaving.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the most, it's hard to describe.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Because it's something where you're just like, my goodness, how can somebody have the love when you just meet somebody that fast? And it was just
Trying to find
She
a
was just
picture
amazing.
of her because I don't know who this person is.
Oh,
She's
little
a-
girl with big glasses.
Yeah.
She was kind of a fashionista for the area.
Yes.
She was a fashionista
Yeah.
for
So
the area.
literally, her glasses are about as big as her face while she has them on.
She has a hat on backwards in one of the pictures
Yes.
and big old sunglasses.
Okay, I'm gonna find a picture of her because I know our work site, but I don't really know your guys's very well. Because so they had us split up into two different spaces, like you said. There was sites 1 and 2 and sites 3 and 4. Our space was very tight.
Yes.
Everything was close together. Theirs was a little bit more spread out.
A lot.
Yeah.
That's Lucy.
That's
Yeah.
Lucy. Okay.
Carrying the buckets of concrete.
to
We're
pause
definitely,
there.
you realize how far apart
Yeah,
they were.
I got the privilege of going to both work sites because I got traded like I was playing for the Knicks.
You got traded like you're.
And so I definitely got to say the site 1 and 2 had it way better off. But
When it comes to distance, because you could actually move.
yes.
Yeah.
Site 3 and 4 was like you
You
were
couldn't
literally
breathe.
on top of each
Yeah.
other.
This is Lucy.
Mhm, yes.
Yes, that's
Was she
Lucy.
wearing those glasses all the time?
No, she was given those glasses and had, I believe.
Okay.
And it was just like she went around to everybody with a permanent marker and she drew these smiley faces on your arms. And then I told Sharon, I said, if I ever get a tattoo, because I'm a wuss, I don't mind saying it. I don't know if I like needles that much, but if I ever get one, it's going to be her smiley face on my arm.
That's great.
It was just amazing.
I like that Taylor's looking all thugged out with her.
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
That's what they were like. Yeah, thug out, and there you go.
That's fun.
So it was amazing. But she was just awesome. And then our contractor was Alex, and I felt so horrible for him because he had to deal with me literally every day. And he would, by the end of the week though, I learned some things. What I can't repeat them now because I don't know what they were, but I knew what a level was, I
Okay,
could get
in
it to him.
Spanish?
Yeah.
I knew what it was in Spanish, and I was like, well, that's actually kind of cool because that Duolingo taught me nothing.
No,
Um,
it sucks. It's absolutely awful.
It was,
Like
it
I
was
said,
the absolute worst
All
thing
you
ever.
needed to know was galletas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cookies.
That Mark, we get it.
Yeah,
we
we
definitely
got
get
that
it.
one.
That,
Never
If
gonna
you had
forget
cookies,
galletas.
then you
Yeah.
would be doing all right. Mixing concrete.
Mhm.
Yes, by hand, straight up,
Yeah.
like getting the dirt and bringing it over, and then you would have a bag of concrete that you put down. And then you would just scoop up gravel from somewhere, and then you just
sift
started.
it. Yeah, I mean,
And you
It's
just
old school.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it was-
brought a whole new meaning to our current day, like modern reliefs.
Mm.
Because I've done concrete before, and I have never mixed it by hand.
Yes.
I have only ever had like an automatic mixer. And one of the problems is that they have such great corruption in the area that these larger construction companies will just steal it. As soon as they get it, they'll just steal it. So it's better to just do it by hand and have like a $10 shovel than actually go through the effort of having to have something on site. It was insane. I
Yeah.
mean,
So that's always the question every single year is, can we just buy and do this easier? We know easier ways to do this. And first off, when we do it the way we do it, it's supporting the local community. But also I've talked to them and they said, well, if we buy nicer stuff, we have to find real good ways to store it, to hide it, because
Yeah.
the bigger companies just steal stuff.
Yeah.
There's major corruption. In fact, the teachers were on strike when we were there because the person who was running the school system was stealing from their pay.
their money. Yep.
And so it
Wow.
wasn't that they were wanting more pay. It was they were wanting what they were supposed to be paid to begin with. Like that's the kind of corruption that goes on. Y'all need to stop dancing. over
There
there
are
and
like
being
4
distracting.
people at once dancing behind the camera.
I will turn the camera on y'all while you're still.
No, that
No.
breeds it. That
Yeah.
breeds it, Mark.
No, I told them they couldn't be out here when they're in their bathing suits. So
Well, the other thing was like making cuts with the wood by hand.
yes, which
Um,
was so. You know what they had? We had an actual
Electric
saw
at Kairos.
at
I
the
saw
school.
It.
No.
So
Yes.
if you don't know, making cuts on 2x4s with hacksaws,
Yeah.
it's very tiring.
It's
and
skilled labor.
and
really is.
it's hard to get the cut completely
Straight.
straight.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we made, I don't know how many cuts, but way too many by hand. for then us on the last day to be like, this was sitting here all day,
Yeah.
all week long. Is
Yeah.
this electric saw?
Wow, I
That
wish I
would've-
would have known that.
Yeah, that-
it would have been nice.
I saw it and I genuinely thought for a second, like I might shed a tear over just the lost time.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad I didn't see it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I would have.
You would
yeah.
have thrown a fit.
I would have because I spent like 3 hours cutting
Yes,
one time
just
and
cutting
just
wood.
cutting,
Yeah.
and I would have been. It'd have been done in like 10 minutes.
And it was beautiful because we had a lot of people that had never used a saw
Mhm.
before be able to use a saw, and that's
Obed,
great.
yeah.
Obed, yes. Let's not call anybody out here. Austin, have you never used a saw before that? Wow.
But I will say, Obed, by the time he got done, he made a perfect cut.
He was he made one out of the 100 cuts.
But that's
he
okay.
did.
That one was perfect.
Well, people,
Positive.
it's funny when people that haven't used a tool before, they forget that a tool is a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be the tool. You let the tool be the tool.
Well,
yeah.
you can be a tool, but you're not supposed to be.
But like with
a
the
tool.
saw, and people are like, and they're just like,
Yeah.
let
speaking
the
from the
teeth
mouth, right?
do the
Oh,
thing.
dude,
You're a tool.
I am
Yeah.
God's tool, right?
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, there we
That's
go.
the tool we were talking about.
Yeah, but we were able to build 4 homes
Yeah.
over the course of we got done in about what 3.5 days.
It was
Yeah.
about 3.5. Yeah, there was some miscommunication problems because during some of that time we didn't have a translator, so you had to very much trial by fire develop your Spanish, at least
Mm.
at site 1 and 2. So I became very well acquainted with Jonathan and Juan.
Yeah, those
I've-
were our contractors.
Yeah, and I gotta say, they are contractors; they're not managers.
Yes, because they were not pushing us to get done faster.
Yeah, well, and Jonathan was very particular, and
Yeah.
I respected him for that. I definitely realized that even though you have less technology, you can still be a very good craftsman,
Oh, yeah.
regardless of that. And I definitely realize now that I guess I had gone into it with this kind of pre-belief that like, oh, we're gonna kind of be a little bit, lenient with it.
Yeah.
But Juan and Jonathan both redefined, in my opinion, what it meant to be particular.
Yes.
But,
And they would want certain people to help them because they did it the way they liked.
yeah, and Jonathan and I got really close because I found out that he loved listening to Queen and like AC/DC and
Really?
everything. Yeah, we were singing along to Bohemian Rhapsody together, laying concrete.
Really?
And yes. Well,
He
I
didn't
was.
speak a lick of English.
He spoke enough English for me. I mean,
Okay, we're gonna get to a picture.
oh, the best picture, the best. If
Okay.
you were on a dating profile, okay, so
Here,
Mark is
this
not-
picture.
the Mr. B is not. He's married
For 22
so,
years.
For
my
22
bad.
years, he's got three kids. Double checking.
Three biological
Tell us
kids,
about
yes.
this epic photo.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is
That's what I call my mountain man pose.
Yeah.
That's your mountain man pose.
You look like a redneck Ken doll.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. No, all right, because I knew
This
I
looks
was
like it's put on money.
I was like all about coffee and chocolate.
Yes.
Like when I
chocolate's not
say
the hype.
coffee and chocolate, I was like, I'm doing coffee and chocolate, or I'm staying at the bottom of a volcano while these morons walk up, because I'm not doing that because there's certain things that God tells you not to, and walking up the side of a volcano is not one of them. So
I think God told me to walk up the
nah,
side of a
it was
volcano.
that was gas.
Yeah.
But literally, so I was like, yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Well, then they were like, well, we end up on the other side of the volcano. And I was like, well, I'm not walking around. And it's not like I could just go get an Uber probably real quick.
Yeah.
No.
So I was like, okay. And they were like, you want a horse? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you dang right, I want a horse. And so they're like, okay, it's this much. And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I was like, I want a horse. Because I'm not walking up this volcano because that's just stupid.
And what they tell you, they said very strong.
Yes,
horse.
because I asked him, I was like, we gotta. Now we're not talking about a pony or nothing
No,
because
you don't
know,
need a pony, man.
no, I got that pushing 3 bills thing, and so I was just like, we got to make sure that this horse is going to be stout. And he looked at me and goes, "Oh, very strong, very
horse.
strong."
Now,
And I was like, "Good." I'm trying to remember his name. Y'all remember his name? Was it Champion? Something like that.
I think it was.
It was
It was Champion, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This is definitely my champion."
And he got to
because
the house at the top of that.
Oh, yeah, because at first, the horse would, as the altitude changed,
Yeah.
you could definitely tell that he was pulling my tail up there because he would just stop for a second and go, and then here comes the guy come up and he'd whack him with the stick and he'd take off. But yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was really proud of Champion.
Yeah, dude, I was proud of Champion too.
I
I
was.
think everybody there was proud of Champion.
Yeah,
for
because
that
his
moment.
little butt was only like this wide, and mine was like this over here.
Yeah,
And so I was. It was.
But he gave us this epic photo.
Yeah,
But yes.
Look at
Champion
Champion.
is immortalized right
Look
now.
at this.
And I've never seen a horse sweat so much.
Oh no, he
but
was drenched.
He was drenched.
That is just such an epic picture. Like
It was-
right
it
in
was-
front of the volcano.
I know it was
looking
beautiful,
all
and that's what he
awesome.
said. He said, "Hold on." He's like, "You want a picture?" And I was like, "Yeah."
So that was the tour guide.
So that
took
was the tour guide that took the
Wow.
picture.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
You're a lucky man.
Yeah.
You're
well,
a lucky
you know.
man.
So if I ever have a dating profile, which I won't, but
I don't know if you're
there
right.
you go.
For everybody not, here.
Yeah,
his
it's
wife is like 10
over
feet
there.
that direction.
She
She's
just
not
gave me the
listening
look.
now. But
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna swap you two out. I'm gonna ask two of the ladies, but make sure you're covered. Okay,
well covered.
well covered. So again,
Headdress.
it's not like they're uncovered. They're just
just-
swimming.
yeah,
So,
bathing
but I want
suits.
them to be covered. So you guys go tag out. Bring a couple of the girls in here.
I will say I did realize real fast what no good means when I was with
mhm,
Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
I
good.
learned that very well
Yeah,
too.
no good.
Somebody, I'm waiting for a couple gals. Couple gals, come sit with me. They're a little bit more shy. These two guys were willing to jump up at the very beginning. Come on, I need a couple females. Somebody, step in here. Step in. They're cheering for Shannon Truitt. Truitt can do it.
They're not going to go.
Okay, I'll just bring it. Austin.
Put on a shirt. Put on a shirt.
The girls are not wanting to show up, so
They don't want to go.
we'll bring Austin in. So let's talk through some stuff, Austin. You got to get close to this thing, or grab the other mic if you want. But so Austin was a stud on this trip. Like I think he tried to kill himself. You worked yourself like I don't know how you did pass out.
I'm used to it.
He worked himself to death.
I didn't die.
So talk about what we did. So we built 4 houses. Austin was right there next to, what was his name again? The contractor guy?
Jonathan?
Jonathan.
Oh, yeah, I love Jonathan.
You love Jonathan.
I didn't understand a word he was saying the entire time, but we could communicate
Yeah.
somehow.
So what was your job day one?
Concrete.
Yeah. And what'd you get to do all day?
I got to shovel concrete. around.
Shovel concrete all
great.
day long. Wasn't it so much fun?
It was a lot of fun. I think after that, either that or the second day, I got really sick, and that's for fun.
What'd you get sick from?
Uh,
I'll tell you what he got sick from. Because he didn't drink any water.
I didn't drink water. I had caffeine withdrawals because I'm a caffeine addict, and then I figured out this trip actually. I figured out I get really motion sick apparently. So
Oh, is that what happened too?
yeah, I didn't know I was motion sick in the first plane ride, and then
Ooh,
I did
didn't
not
know
have
that
fun.
I'm gonna just put a picture up there because it's good for people to see these things. So this is just a quick little picture of, I think that's Mason and you.
Yeah.
And this is just the first stages of
Oh, that
making
was fun.
concrete, and it just all day long turning dirt. It's long, it's tiring. And if you don't keep turning it, what happens?
It'll settle. Which we had problems with that one of the days, but like the bottom had settled because it was just sitting there.
So it'll settle. So that means somebody has to be out there turning it over and over, and it gets heavy and tiring. And so Austin, one of his biggest jobs, while everybody else is laying the foundation for the house, is he's just keeping that stuff going. And that's a lot. I don't know. What were you doing at your site?
I did the same thing.
They gave the young backs the job of turning over the cement.
I actually got back to the hotel after that day, and then Jeray told me to do 20 push-ups, and so I did 40 push-ups.
Why are you guys having push-up challenge
Well,
after
I
you're
kept
turning?
He kept ducking. I wanted to challenge him to a push-up contest, and then he just never accepted it. So
All right. So let's introduce real quick. Say your name, your age. So people out here that maybe are watching, if they don't know who you are.
my name is Elvis Austin Merritt Preston Bagwell, and I'm 18 years of age.
Charlie Beer House. I'm 17, turning tomorrow.
17 tomorrow.
It's your
Yeah.
birthday? I didn't even know.
Hey, happy birthday.
Happy almost birthday.
So these guys were both on 2 different work sites with us. Did you guys ever go
One-
deliver groceries?
Yes.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, talk about that
Were we
experience.
on the same?
We haven't
No.
really
No, we weren't.
we haven't talked about that. So share kind of what that was, what we did
Oh.
there.
I know I went to go deliver groceries because Melanie said I couldn't. If I didn't do it, she wouldn't let me work at the site for the whole day. So I got threatened.
You got a different assignment
Yeah.
for the day.
She said I had to do something else besides work.
need a little bit of a
And
break.
Yeah. And then we went and picked up the groceries, and they were playing some kind of music, and then I was jamming to it. I don't know.
You
what
went and
it
picked
was.
up the groceries.
Yeah, we picked up it was a lot. They had a grocery list, and then we rode on a bus. The first place we went,
They're being so distracting. Just
they're
ignore
being
them.
so annoying. For real. And the first place we went was this one house, and then they had a cat and like a dog, and then she gave us a bunch of limes,
Did y'all pet the dog?
and they stole all the limes. I did not pet the dog.
Oh yeah, that's a big rule. Don't pet the dog.
Cheyenne petted the dog.
Yeah.
Cheyenne petted
just-
the dog.
Cheyenne petted the dog.
Just so y'all know, what they do is we go to a local supermarket.
Hey, this is the pillow fight it.
Yeah, I'm
3
not,
a.m.?
they don't see this yet, but we go to a local supermarket, buy a bunch of groceries and like home supplies, and then the school has usually at least a couple different families we can go to, or the people that are with us know here's some homes that we can stop by. Explain, like when you stop by a home, what that is like compared to if somebody stopped by your house.
Well, one they were like seemed really like I don't know, sketched out kind of like they were, suspicious because you got a bunch of white people showing up at your house. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
And then so like they were kind of hesitant, especially this one. It was
here's them shopping.
it was a brother and a sister, and then some people just like wouldn't let us in or they wouldn't answer the door.
Yeah.
And then they eventually warmed up to us. We got to joking around, and like joy and laughter is kind of like universal language.
Yeah.
So kind of became friends pretty easily.
Well, when we went, I think it was Tuesday. I'm pretty sure I went Tuesday. We had some questionable grandma who had a disease on a specific part of her body.
Oh,
But the weird thing, she wanted to show it to us.
oh no.
Did she?
No,
Oh, okay,
thankfully
okay.
that somebody knew how to speak Spanish and told her not to do that.
She wanted a prayer. It's just like this
She
is what I
did.
need prayer for.
Yes.
Oh man,
But-
I didn't know that.
I think you actually might have told me about that night.
Mhm. Yeah, it was a little weird.
Oh, yeah,
We-
we were rooming together, by the way.
Yes, we were.
It was great.
So these homes, they're not like couch and TV
No.
and stuff. Explain what we
I
mean by a home.
I didn't go like really into any of the homes, but like the outside it was like sheets of metal, and then one of them just had a chicken coop in the backyard, and like they were just sheets of metal, and then like there was trash all over the ground and stuff like that. And
So very different than
Yeah.
what we are accustomed to.
Yeah, the houses we went to this like square neighborhood, and it had like everything was like just a big shack. Everybody lived in a shack, and some of them didn't even like have roofs either.
Hmm.
And we did go to this one, the abuela house,
Yeah.
as we say.
Yeah,
We all
abuela.
got- yeah, we-
Abuela means grandma in
Mhm.
Spanish, if you don't know. Yeah.
And we got an abuela Maria, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure, and she like all adopted us. She did have a nicer house,
Yeah.
but you can just see like the condition difference. And there was some really nice houses right next to like shacks as well.
Yeah.
And it's just like such a diverse place to live.
Yeah, Guatemala is really interesting because you'll see wealth and then like utter poverty, and usually they're separated somewhat. But I mean, for instance, where we were staying, our hotel and everything was in Antigua, and there were some really nice restaurants and stuff right in that area. But you drive 20, 30 minutes away where we went to work, and it was a very different place. So it's just the reality is there's a lot of very poor people in that area and region. Tell other things about your work site when you were building the house. What are some stories, some things, some stuff?
well, I hit or I hit Melanie's hand.
You hit her hand with what?
A hammer.
Oh, I didn't know you hit her hand with a
actually,
hammer.
I
I
don't
know a
remember.
board fell on your neck.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think the second day I got injured a bunch because I had a like 2x4. I don't know. I think it was. I couldn't tell you how long it was. It was like 600 centimeters maybe. So it was a long board that fell straight on my neck, barely missed my head, and then Nick actually dropped a hammer on me too.
Oh,
And
you were getting beat up.
yeah, that didn't feel too great. And then they're actually gone now, but I had a bunch of calluses. I had a callus on almost every finger.
Because you wouldn't wear gloves.
Yeah. Well, the gloves like that it didn't help the shovel. It slipped on the shovel. I also came in already injured. I came to Guatemala already injured from work. Like there, it's still there actually with stuff on my hands that I had to get wrapped.
What about you?
I think the only injury I had was my finger. I was sewing. I was on this rickety ladder made of like barely.
Yeah, we
wood.
did have some pretty sketchy ladders that we were on.
The rebar ladders.
Yeah. There were some sketchy ladders that we stood
I was on this ladder and I was shaking the whole time because it was not that stable. And I had a saw. And at the very top, like the roof, before you put the roof on, the drywall is higher than the walls.
Yeah.
So you have to cut that off. And I was in the middle of cutting it off, and the nails that were like just holding it on so we could cut it popped out.
Oh,
And the drywall was like banging against the side. And I was cutting, and I went and cut my finger open, and I had to get Band-Aid, and yeah,
It was
it sucked.
Who was it? London like almost got
Oh,
a
yeah.
concussion.
Mhm.
yeah. One of them almost got a concussion.
That was kind of crazy.
So let's just what was your expectation coming into the trip? What did you take away? Like, talk about that.
I don't know. My expectation was like, I don't know. I'd go there, build some houses, kind of be it, and
Be
then
close.
I'd go there, build houses, and that'd be it. And then I took away like just a different like perspective on my life and like other lives. And I also realized how much I actually like to help people.
Yeah.
So actually, just like a little bit ago, I contacted Jace Hargrove.
Yeah.
About helping with Idols Aside.
Yeah.
So I realized how much I like to help people and just how good I have it in life compared to some other people in other countries.
That's a huge win. Like coming back refreshed. Like, man, I do have a purpose to help people. What about you?
Well, what I was expecting, first of all, that's the first time I'm going into a new country. That's sick. I was just excited about that. But I was also excited just to help people and see like different ways of life. Cause like when you're living in Paducah, Kentucky,
Yeah.
you have a set of things that you do a day. So
Yeah.
like you go to work, you work, and then you go home and it just repeats every day.
Yeah.
It was just cool to see that not everybody has just a set of rules to go by, and
Yeah.
they're like, you just got to do what you got to do in that very moment,
Yeah,
and not
their days
repetitive.
are very different
And
than
yes,
ours.
they are. Yes.
They're very different than ours.
Mhm.
All right. So these guys killed it, man. They're both workers like crazy. I was around Austin a lot, so I got to see him try to wear himself out.
They
Like
kept
if there
making
was
me
a
take time
if there was
outs.
an empty meter on a gas tank, he was like, let's break that and then just keep going. But both him and Ramsey got to sit in timeout at one point. And it was the stop right now and sit in timeout.
They said 5 minutes, and I came back after 5 minutes, and then they still would have let me work.
I was going to try to find the timeout picture when you guys
You
got
might
told
have
to
it.
sit down and said, hey, stop. No more working for you guys. Did you ever go to the schools?
I didn't actually. No, I didn't do any of the school stuff.
Never had any of the school
Like I
stuff?
went to the schools, but I didn't really.
I have, I think, a couple pictures of me at the school. We colored together. We like laid on the floor and colored.
Yeah.
And
It was one of the families.
we did this thing where we had the fruits of the spirit.
Yeah, we taught the fruits of the spirit to the
Mhm.
kids.
And they each I don't know Spanish at all.
Yeah.
I know gracias and that's it.
Oh,
But I had a translator on my phone and I each gave it to one of them. I think the word was gratitude
Okay.
in that range.
Yeah.
And they each said something on my translator. They typed it in
Uh-huh.
and they each showed it to me. And then two of them got up and told it what the fruit of the spirit was.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it was cool. Language barrier, but still, it was cool to see they can do the same stuff.
It was.
Look
it
at the
was,
bros.
Oh wow! It was so great to get back to America and be able to order food.
And use toilet paper.
Toilet. Oh my gosh! Toilet paper is the best thing ever to actually flush. It was so great.
Yeah, if you don't know, in Guatemala they don't like you flushing the toilet
Yeah.
paper. So it's not that you can't use toilet paper. The toilet paper just has to go into a trash can, not into
Mhm.
the toilet. And so that is a very different thing.
Yeah,
But
we went to
Say
Cane's,
doggy
and it was
bag.
so great to be able to say like 3-finger combo and them know what I'm saying.
Yes, it's good when you're around people that can speak your language. That is a definite plus. All right, so thank you. You guys go tell some of these ladies that it is their turn.
You and Cheyenne.
So swap out. Swap out. Who we got coming in? Got a couple more that are coming in that joined us. You're here. This is your microphone now.
I see it.
Just tell them your name, who you are.
I'm Katie.
So this is Katie.
I'm Cheyenne.
That's yours. Your microphone.
I'm Cheyenne.
Cheyenne is there with us too. So scooch in a little bit, Cheyenne. You got your baby with you. Your baby did not go on the trip because that would have been
Unacceptable.
that would have been ridiculous. She's ready to eat it. She's like, "Are you trying to give me food? Because that's not food." Yeah. So let's chat through your guys' adventure. I don't know. I don't remember who was on what site. I know I was around you a lot.
1 and 2.
You were with us too? Okay.
You were 1 and 2?
No, I was on 3 and 4. I was with Natalie.
Das ist meine Freundin.
So talk a little bit about the trip. You guys are all on goofy mode, which is good. She really wants to talk. Yeah.
You start about the trip.
Yeah, just here. Use your microphone. It's
I have to
powerful.
lean.
Yes.
Oh, don't lean.
No, do lean.
Okay,
It
I'm
needs your
leaning.
face
I
there.
feel like it needs to be higher.
You can make it
How do
higher.
I make it higher?
Stop barking. Yes, give the child to Mackenzie.
How do I make it go up?
If you need to share the other one, go ahead and
Wait,
just
is
lean
this
in.
like live? Okay,
Yeah, we are live. Yes. Yes, this is not recorded. This is live. Here's what I've been kind of starting with. All of us had an expectation coming into the trip. What was the expectation compared to the reality? Talk about that to start off with.
Are you? I feel like I have a crowd back there. Too.
Yes, there's a crowd back there.
Yeah. At least they're not greeting like.
Just talk. You guys are. I'll bring the guys back on here. They're not afraid to talk.
So, my expectation was I didn't really have much. I didn't really know what to think. Never been out the country. The airplane felt like I teleported there. Like,
You teleported there.
like you can't like. I didn't have a window seat ever, so I was just like, I'm in this room and now I'm in a whole different country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheyenne.
I didn't really know what to expect. I thought it would definitely be a little bit scarier when we got there or whatnot. I think it's just because like I'm in the same boat. I've never been on a plane. I've never been out of the country. But in all honesty, the scariest part was the airplane ride. One of the questions that we were asked during small groups at night was like something along the lines like if we were uncomfortable or something along those lines. And as uncomfortable as you think it would have been what we were doing, not speaking the same language, leaving our families and friends back home for the most part, it was actually one of the most comfortable things I've personally ever done. I felt just right at home whenever I was there. So
talk through how you guys spent your days, maybe the first couple days. What were you doing? What were you working on? What are things you enjoyed? What are things that were hard?
So the first day, me and Addison, we went and did VBS for the preschool. We were supposed to go to Kairos, and then it got switched.
So Kairos is the school, but yeah, you guys got switched.
Yeah, so we went to the preschool, and so it felt like a little bit out of whack. We weren't like doing the plan we originally thought we were. And so we were also doing it with people. I didn't know if they were from Life Point. I forgot their
From
name.
the church that we were with?
I think they were from Life Point, but I didn't know who they were either. So it was a little strange doing like a VBS with people I've never talked to.
Yeah.
And none of the teachers spoke English. That was a little hard too. And our translator, was also having a hard time translating. So that was really difficult to talk about the fruits of the Spirit. Most of the time, I would just show them like this.
Oh, you didn't have a translator with you?
We did, but she took a lot of phone calls. So
Oh,
not really.
So you were trying to teach about the fruit of the Spirit, not
with
speaking the right language.
nobody spoke English except for the translator.
Well, good for you. You should have learned Spanish.
I guess.
What did you do kind of your first day?
The first day, the first day working was, I believe, Monday, and I don't know, we just
I'll tell you what, Cheyenne
went
worked
straight
hard.
to it.
She did a lot. Like,
Do they see these pictures?
Like I had to.
can they see these
I
pictures?
was kind of told to
Oh.
reel it back a
Well-
little bit to let other people actually get in there and do some stuff, but
Yes.
that's just the way that I was raised, is get in there and do the best that you can. It was really awesome watching so many people work as a team, including, so I was on site 3 and 4, and we built site 3 and 4, because it was 2 houses built on the same land or property, and there was a pretty good group of us, and we all worked together, and the 2 guys that were there on the job site, the construction guys, they had a lot of patience with us, and it was hard trying to figure out what they were trying to say, and we kind of learned what worked best. Is if we couldn't use the translator, we used like hand motions and actions, and we made it work.
Yeah.
So
I saw a picture of you in here, like nailing stuff.
Oh.
Is that your secret thing you didn't know that you're so good at?
Well, me and Addison, like the Harpole family, they were the main ones building the first house one, because there was
Yeah.
2 sites. They weren't close to each other, and so they were building most. Oh, I need to go closer. They were the ones mainly building the house the first couple of days. So the last day, me and Addison were like, we want to get in on the action.
Yeah.
We want to build the house, and so we just picked up a hammer, and I was like, what do we do? And so we like just put ourselves in there. And they
So if
just
you
had to
weren't
show
building the first couple days, what were you doing?
painting.
Painting?
and I made a belt, actually. I don't know if you have a picture of it, but
Of the belt you made?
yeah, we really.
Wait,
wait,
is
is
that
that when you were doing?
Yeah, I was like, they taught me how to learn the belt. I really was just painting a lot, and the first day,
Building relationships with the families.
yeah, we were talking to them a lot. I didn't really talk much because they didn't know English, I didn't know Spanish, but she showed me how to make this belt that her family, like, they make belts and they make tapestries and aprons and they sell them in the market.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
The family that was there?
Yes, on site 1. So site 1 and 2, it was 2 sisters and that we were building the houses for, and they lived with their parents, and they both had 2 kids. And they probably already talked about Lucy a little bit, did they?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So Lucy was Mariella's kid, and that was house 2. So we didn't build her house; we built Sandra's house, and her daughters. She had 2 daughters, and it was Cindy and Carla.
Yeah.
And so I talked to them a lot.
So you got to. Is this? Let's see. I'm trying
I
to
don't
find
know.
some pictures, but I don't know which ones
It was on
or where we're at.
Yeah. Is that in the shared album?
I don't know.
That was from the
not it.
other
That's
side.
other
Yeah,
that's our side.
It was-
Sorry, we're looking through some images that y'all can't see.
I think
at
it
this
was on the
exact
first
moment.
day.
But I thought it was really cool. Your guys' site, they were making stuff, and then you guys bought some of the stuff
Oh.
that you were making with them.
Yeah.
This is it. I think,
Yeah,
right
that's the belt I was making, and originally it was for Lucy, Mariella's daughter, and so I was helping her make it, and I made a good chunk of it. And then the last day, I was talking to her again because we didn't have much to do because they didn't want us to paint the inside of the house,
Yeah.
like the board. So the last day we just hung out with them mostly, and I was asking her about the belt, and so she brought it back out, and I was asking if Lucy liked it because she just had said it was for Lucy, and she was like, actually no, I'm gonna sell it in the market instead. And I was like, the market? Me, I want to buy it. And so then I bought it from her.
That's cool. You got to buy something from the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Okay, let's just talk a little bit about the volcano hike.
Okay.
You've got the microphone. So today, if you were at church, I talked about the volcano hike a little bit. I shared a little bit about it. I said the volcano hike took our sweat and our blood. And then I said, and he even took someone's ankle. And that someone is
me.
Cheyenne. So just talk this hike a little bit.
Okay, so So if you were at, or if you watched the sermon this morning, Pastor Mark mentioned a little bit about some of us going like at a higher rate of speed up the volcano, and with them being old and stuff, that that we needed to reel it back a little bit. And
I like that she looked at me and said them being
I know,
old
that's
and stuff. I was like the fourth or fifth one back on the thing.
He was in the front.
Cheyenne was trying to race.
Were you really?
Yes.
he told me, he asked if I could keep up, and I said, let's do it.
And so a lot of times Cheyenne was ahead of the old guy that was from Guatemala, making all the rest of us go faster as well.
You were the one making the pace that fast?
Yes. Even though we had heard just the night before about pace
That's the
and moving at the
Yes.
right speed. And so
Yes.
Cheyenne flew up the hill. And then we had the chance to come down the hill.
And as we were making our way down the hill, I found out really fast on why he said in the beginning to walk down the ash. So me being stubborn, I thought, oh, well, I won't run, but let's compromise. Let's not walk either. And let's attempt to skip and hop. And so I did that, and my ankle went boom. And so I learned how to I didn't necessarily learn how to slow down or choose to slow down. I felt like God sat me down. And but some of the guys really worked as a team, and they took 2 hiking sticks and a bunch of our hoodies, and they made
Yeah, they
a
had to like drag you down.
homemade stretcher. They walked me down, and then we all fell together. And so that wasn't a good idea. So they grabbed my good leg, and Charlie grabbed my good leg, and he dragged me down. And then as I got to the bottom of the ash, everyone was videoing and having just a good laugh. And then I got on a horse and rode the rest of the way. And now it's fractured, and I have 2 torn ligaments. So
yay.
I'll listen next
So
time.
this is it right here. Look,
Yeah,
this
I took
is
that
them
video.
carrying you down.
You know what? I was there. I don't know why you had to bring it up. Or
They're dragging you down. See this loose ash?
I didn't get a video of them falling, but that's right after they fell.
That's right
Yeah.
after they fell?
Yeah.
so we were
So
still
you the
up
one that were
there
recording
pretty good
these?
way.
Yeah, I was recording them going down because I had Cheyenne's phone.
What's going
'cause
on?
She
Wait,
couldn't
this is a
carry it.
different picture. That's of you. I didn't what is this?
Oh, that's me and Sandra. I also bought an apron from her. I actually bought the same one that she has on with the little hearts on it, and I bought it for my grandma. Once I bought the belt, then they were like, oh my gosh, they want to buy things.
So you
So
bought
yeah, I bought
the
more.
apron she was
Actually,
wearing?
No. She had another one that was just like it, and I liked that one. So since she had an extra one, I bought that.
Do you cook?
No, it was for my grandma.
That's pretty cool.
But I think a lot of people bought things. I think Sharon bought one too. Oh, that's also neat.
What is going on here?
I'm doing henna. That's the Lucy face. I think Marcus. Oh, mine's gone. But Lucy. Oh yeah.
The Lucy face?
Lucy, that's what she drew. There's balloons of it too, but she would draw that face on everything. And then if you took a picture with her, she would make that face in the picture. And she was just like,
That's awesome.
yeah. And so I was tattooing it on. Well, not. It's like a fake tattoo, temporary.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Oh.
Yeah, was that when we all had to get on the
Yeah,
bus
so
together?
last one that we'll talk about with you guys here before we switch out. So we were going up on the volcano, which I already told you is too high, and we had to ride a bus to get up there. And we're going at such high altitude, and we're going such straight up that our bus even gave up. Our bus going to the beginning of the mountain broke down, and we had to cram, I don't know how many of us there were.
40?
Like 40 of us.
No, because there was like 20 of us, and then there was like 18 of the Appalachians.
Yeah, there was
So
35
close
to
to
40 of
40.
us on a bus that did not fit that. We were
Mhm.
sitting on top of each other. It was, but
Yeah,
Very
Mr.
close.
B.
y'all still wanted to be climbing that mountain.
I feel like we had a few different situations where it was probably telling us to turn back and go eat some chocolate and drink some coffee,
Yeah.
but we still did it.
So what would you say to people who maybe supported us on the trip or maybe are thinking about going on the next one before y'all hop off?
You want to go?
I can go. Okay. I'm just
Talk
saying,
to the mic.
thank you for supporting us and helping us get there with like the money and stuff. And if you're thinking about going, you definitely should, because even just the hotel staff, they were also polite and oh my gosh, it got real quiet over there. But they really made us feel at home, and there was just like it was so easy to make friendships there and connections. Like it was more than just like doing manual labor. It was fun.
Yeah. What about you, Cheyenne?
First, thank you for supporting us and just helping us get that kickstart to be able to go. And if you are thinking about going, I'll go. Like, sacrifice that 1 week of whatever you have going on at home and leave everything behind you and just go. And I promise you that they will bless you more than you've ever thought about being able to bless them. What you will bring back is something that I can't even put into words. It's amazing.
Cheyenne
So,
preached.
I did a 5-minute kickstart. It was not preaching.
She did a devotion in the morning, and it was awesome. Like it a lot of people were able to like get a lot out of that. So it was a cool space to see a lot of people grow and try different things and do new things.
Thank
And
you.
we don't have another trip at this moment planned, but when we do, I would encourage y'all really talk to some of the people who have went on this trip, ask them all about it, and sign up. Go with us wherever it is that we go next. All right, let's swap in a couple new folks.
Who wants to come?
We're gonna bring some new ones in. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Who we got coming in? Seat's a little wet. You got Natalie and Addison.
Okay.
Natalie and Addison are now sitting with us.
Switched out twins.
Spaced out twins.
Yeah.
So I've been starting by asking everybody different questions, but I'll ask you guys to start with something fun. Okay? Start with something fun. Tell me something funny that happened on the trip.
Oh my gosh. It was me, Kenzie, Nick, and Braden, and we were talking to these two little girls on our work site, Nancy and Naomi, I think. And we were playing in the dirt with them because that's when the school finally showed up and they started helping our site. So we had so many people. So we were playing in the mud. Sorry, do I need to move up?
No.
Kenzie was really the only one that could communicate with them because the translator was like on the work site with all the buildings. And so our favorite phrase was "Como se dice?" Like, how do you say? And then we put in stuff. And Braden was talking to Nancy, and we were just like, yapping with them, like "Como se dice?" and pointing to something. And he goes, "There's a motorcycle park." He goes, "Como se dice?"
Como se dice vroom vroom?
And then Nancy looks at him like confused and goes, "Motor?" And she like can raise her eyebrow really well. There's a picture of her with her eyebrow raised.
I'm
that
looking.
I
They're
took.
being so loud.
They are being really loud. It was.
Tell them
I don't know where it was.
just a little bit. They're really loud.
No,
They're enjoying each other's company.
tell them they do. Oh shoot. I hit the mic. Anyways, it was really funny, and then it was like a joke the rest of the trip, like "Como se dice?" Vroom, vroom.
Como se dice vroom vroom?
Or just like, remember when Katie made you do the video?
Yes.
Did you do the what? Katie made him go "Como se dice?"
So here is.
Oh, that's us playing. That's Naomi's in the teal shirt, and then Nancy is in the long sleeve shirt.
So this was the site that I was at too, and these were two of the kiddos that were there all the time, and they were always just coming up with games and coming up with different little things. It didn't take anything
that was
for
after
them
the
to.
first day. The first day they didn't.
Yeah, the
come
first
down.
day they didn't come out much.
Naomi was on the top or like the floor above us,
Mhm.
and she would look down at us and like smile, but she didn't come down.
But once they came down, they were like everybody's buddy, always coming up with different
Mhm.
games and things to do. And
I think Nancy was 11. I don't know. I think Naomi was 4.
yeah, she was little. There's Nick playing in the dirt.
We made mud castles.
Made mud castles.
Yeah, and we used our water bottles to like make the mud stick together. And so then me and Nick's water bottles got kind of like Guatemalan dirt-y. And I used my water bottle at the gym when I got back, and it tasted like Guatemala dirt.
Oh,
I washed it, and it didn't fully come out. So
Yeah.
then I didn't drink my water.
well, that's probably for the best because what's going on here? Oh,
That's when Braden ate the bug. Oh, we were playing in the dirt with them, and Naomi picked up this bug, and she was so happy that she picked up this bug, and we were really confused. So Nancy started like telling us about it, but like Kenzie was kind of translating for us. and apparently it's like a delicacy for them.
So this is the bug.
That's a picture I got. Of her.
Yeah. So this
she
bug.
was so happy.
This is the bug that they started finding a bunch of them because apparently, yeah, it's a delicacy for them, and
They only eat it once a year.
and so they.
We did not eat bugs where I was.
You didn't
Oh,
eat bugs
no.
at your
We did not eat
space.
bugs.
Would you have eaten the bug?
No.
No.
It was good.
Most of the people at our space eventually, because they got
I
a
think
whole,
almost everyone did.
they got a whole jar of them
Oh.
by the second day,
I
and then
only saw
everybody.
like the little bowl.
I don't think I would have.
You don't
They
think you
tasted like
would've?
popcorn. It was good.
They weren't bad.
I don't
So
think so.
tell me about like you did a VBS day.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever deliver groceries?
Mhm.
Some of the things. So tell me about some of the things you did.
And are we still doing fun or just in general?
Anything, fun or
Okay.
general.
Well, honestly, just the fun part was just being with like the little girl, like Lucy. We would dance if there was music playing, or like literally just anything. Like we did crafts. It was all just fun. Like she was just so excited, and like y'all's, like she didn't come out the first day or the first 2 days that I was there. She was like very shy, and then like the third and fourth day she came out, and then she was like sobbing when we were leaving. We were like, "What the heck? This little girl, we known her for 2 days, and she's sobbing."
She had to warm up too.
Yeah, it was really sad, but yeah.
One thing I haven't talked about with anyone is kind of just the layout of how a day worked, like what we did.
Oh yeah.
So let's just talk through the simplicity of what that looked like. So what time did we get up in the morning?
The crack of dawn.
No, it was not that
It was so
early.
early.
It was like 7.
Yeah,
we
6:30,
ate at
7.
7:30, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
ate at 7.
Yeah.
So
it's
you
like
wake up at
7.
7 and you had to go make what?
Your peanut butter and jelly.
We
Yeah.
made our peanut butter and jellies.
Which some of y'all didn't eat, but we
I
made
didn't.
we made peanut butter and jellies because that was lunch each day.
Hey, I was not mad.
Yeah.
I like PB&J.
I
That
ate
was
my
fun.
goldfish. So.
And then we would have breakfast.
Mhm.
Then there would be kind of quiet time
Yeah.
for us to
Devo time.
do devos or whatever it looked like. And then it was a morning devotion. So somebody that
Oh,
was
yeah.
on the trip would give a little just encouragement, kickstart
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
And then we would head out to our spaces.
Yeah.
And some of y'all were doing VBS. You did VBS one day too.
You led VBS, right?
Yeah, we led it, and I was the monkey.
You were the monkey. That's right. I should find a picture of that to show.
Oh my
everybody.
gosh.
There is a video of it. I think it's me.
We
and
did
Kenzie.
VBS the first
Kenzie
day.
was the turtle, and I was the monkey, and we taught them about patience because the monkey was like crazy and wanted galletas or cookies, and then the turtle was calm and would say like
Oh, the bird. Oh my gosh.
"Paciencia es mejor."
Paciencia es mejor. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is. I'm gonna show this. Let's see.
Nope. That's us.
That's there. Look at that. Oh, this is probably how I got sick.
Probably.
Honestly, this was not at VBS, but we all decided to play this game with them.
Oh, that was my VBS.
Was this you at VBS?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we were in our little groups for a minute.
Yeah.
And like we split off into the groups and we made bracelets. And then my group finished the bracelets pretty fast. So they thought Cameron was really cool and he liked to make funny faces.
Yeah.
We made funny faces.
Who?
This right here, because I was with y'all, was us just
Aw.
making stuff up.
Oh yeah, because we didn't have half
Oh,
our
we
stuff.
also had to do that.
We had 2 bags and they got switched with Melanie.
We had our stuff. Our lesson was like geared towards older kids, and we had really young kids, and so we just kind of
Oh.
did whatever. Because the translator, like, it was a big fat paragraph, and it was just she was not like she had it, but it was just really hard because they were like
Did you show
attention
the
span.
dabbing picture?
The dabbing
But-
picture, yes.
Yeah.
I was able
Before-
to just play with the fruit with the kids.
Before we left, I told somebody that I was gonna see if the kids knew how to dab, and we were all gonna dab. And so then, like me and this girl Ashley, she was really nice. She was at Kairos, and we just started dabbing. And then like more people came as Nick was taking pictures, and we had a whole group just dab. It was really funny.
One of the things I loved about when we did our VBS, so you guys were silly with your puppets and all the things, but we kept just saying the same thing over and over again. And the next day, we actually went back to the school because we had lunch with the kids there. And the kids were running up to me and saying, because they memorized what we taught them, because we didn't have a big, long message. It was just patience is better and where are the cookies? And they just kept saying it over and over again.
There was a little kid that just kept coming up to me. I forget his name, but he would just come up to me and go, "Mono, mono."
So mono means monkey. And so he was like, "You're the monkey.
And
Where's
I
the
know,
monkey?"
where was my monkey? And I would just go, he's tired, he's asleep.
So he was waiting for the monkey, and wasn't there. But it was awesome seeing you guys be able to just do ministry, help in all these different ways, painting, all the different things. Were you there the day on our site when all of a sudden it smelled like rank, nasty booty?
Booty.
No.
Oh,
Maybe I did food distribution one day, so it could have been during that.
there was one day when the person at our site decided to light their waste on fire.
Maybe I was there, I can't remember.
Oh,
That might have been when I was playing in the dirt.
it was horrible. Let me tell you, it was not a fun time.
Sounds
So
gross.
I want y'all to just tell somebody maybe one great thing that either God did for you, that you would encourage somebody to come, a thank you for being generous, any of that. Just kind of share something.
Wait,
I know I put you on the spot. Either something that you really loved, something God did, something you would
I got
encourage
that.
others with.
I'll say it.
Go ahead.
Well, I have like two separate things, but when we went to the volcano, I already knew that I was not looking forward to it because I have asthma and it just wasn't my vibe. But we literally like not even 5 minutes in, and I already like was hyperventilating and stuff, and I was just like, this is not gonna work. I'm just gonna go back down and wait for y'all. And they were like, do you want to ride a horse at the volcano? And I was like, I'd like ridden a horse one time at a birthday party. But Ramsey took my backpack and he was like, here, let me take this. And we kept trying to walk and it just wasn't happening. And so then Nick, he was like, here's some cash. Let me pay for you to get a horse. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And so I got on that horse and we went all the way up the volcano.
Yeah.
And it was like gorgeous. I mean, I was able to like look at all the landscape, like even just the fields on the side. Like it was really cool to take in because when you're hiking, you were probably just like focused on getting up there.
Oh, yeah.
Focused on
But-
breathing.
Until that one lady passed out, then we got a break.
Yes, we got a
but-
break when she passed out.
Yeah,
That was
there
a long
was
break.
times where I didn't see anybody in front of me or behind me, and I was just me and the horse. And I was like, you know what? God's got this. The horse knows where it's going. Let's just keep it on. And we got up the hill, or the volcano actually. So
Yeah.
that was a God moment for sure because there's no way I could have hiked up that hill. I shared this at the little like worship time that we had, but I was saying that how a God encounter that I had was that I've been like not knowing what to do after high school. Like a year ago, I didn't know what I was gonna do, and then being at the CBS was just like, yes, you're called to be a teacher. Like this is solid. Like I want you to be a teacher. So that's my God encounters for that. So thank y'all for the support, and I'm really happy that I was able to go.
Natalie, I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, the biggest thing I kind of took away from it was one of the nights he talked about being curious and compassionate, like about our community, and that was really evident when, like, I helped on the work site doing concrete and whatnot, but I got to hang around the kids a lot. And at first they were really shy, but like once you started talking to them and you showed them that you were curious about them, like they grew really close to you. And like a bunch of them were crying as we left. Like I know when we ate lunch at Kairos, they were all like hugging Kinsey and like crying. And then one girl, Ashley, the one I dabbed with the day before, she was sad and she was crying just because we were curious about them when we talked to them. Because at first they were really like,
Yes.
scared, and obviously we didn't speak their language, but once you showed them that you were like curious about them, they started like building that relationship, and we're really sad when we left.
Yeah. So I had told these guys a couple nights before that it's not that there's a lot of difference in them. She's like, man, there's so much. It's like it's a difference in us. We showed up in this place curious and compassionate, and we need to bring that back to our community as well. And so when we continue to show up just curious about other people's lives and showing compassion towards them, it's the way Jesus shows up, and so we can be that to others. All right, I'm going to swap you out for two more. Two more. Who's next? Some of these people,
Do we need to wait till they walk up?
some of
Or-
them left, like your mother.
Oh yeah, she
did not
doesn't
wanna
like
do it.
interviews.
I know.
Or being on camera.
I know.
You
I
ready?
know she left. Okay,
Are
this
you
might
ready?
be this.
Adios.
This may be
Buenas
last two.
noches.
We'll see. Oh yeah, then Kenzie and Emily. Okay. So we got two new ones coming up. Yeah. Wait, I'm not wearing pants.
Don't say that.
You have
I look like
clothes on, shorts and everything. You look like you've been in a pool. They've been having a pool party. It's perfectly
Been
fine.
outside all day long. Oh,
All
I
right.
did some turn.
So let's chat a little bit about the trip with the two of y'all. So introduce yourselves first off, and then I'll ask you some questions.
Hi, I'm Kenzie.
Hi, I'm Bailey.
How old are you?
17.
20.
17 and 20. First missions trip,
Second.
second one.
First mission
Get
trip.
close to
First
this, it
time
won't
going
bite
on
you.
the plane too.
There you go, it won't bite you. First time on a plane. How was
Yes.
that?
I was overthinking it a lot, like even before I stepped foot on the plane. But it was actually like decent. I fell asleep like every time I got on it. So
I was watching you when we first started to take
when
off.
we first took off, I was like having a small little panic attack. I was terrified.
But then when we went back home, I didn't see you doing that same thing.
Yeah,
so.
I pretty much fell asleep.
I got sick on the plane.
You got sick on the plane?
There and back. It was not good.
Uh-oh. That's not good at all. What made you sick?
I don't know. The one time we landed, though, we like shook.
Oh my
and
gosh,
hit
that
the
was
ground.
terrifying.
That was really bad.
Yeah, we did hit pretty hard. So I want to ask y'all, what was a big takeaway for you from the trip? What was something that you're like, man, I'm glad we got to do that? Or here's something, a story that's hilarious that you can't stop thinking of, or a person or a moment or any of that. So it's just share some things about the trip.
Okay.
You're okay.
Well, I did get closer to God. It was just like a really cool, I guess, come to Jesus moment. And like I like just felt his presence more. It was actually really cool. Okay,
It's really sweet. I was thinking of how we found Nick's Persha's old Instagram and we made fun of it all night long. I loved it so
They
much.
that
found-
was amazing.
So Nick, if you don't know, is one of the
Oh my
young adults
gosh.
that went with us on this trip, and they found his old Instagram account.
It's the funniest thing. He took it all down. He took all of it down.
Did
And
he?
was so mad about it.
Well,
I'm
we have
screenshotting
one of the
most it.
pictures.
We do.
I'm not
Yeah,
going to
we
share it for
screenshotted
everyone
it.
because that's just for the family. But he was making duck lips.
He looked like an 8th grade girl, and it was in like sophomore year, duck looped up. Like, oh my gosh, I love it.
You
And
need
I
to get
also-
closer to the microphone.
I don't want to get that.
Well,
I also really like doing CBS. I got to lead and teach a bunch of preschoolers, which is my favorite thing to do, and they made me cry so much. I loved them. We got to learn all about our cookies. That's an interesting picture. To learn all about patience and all of our cookies and my babies. I actually cannot. I need to go back really soon.
so
I would actually really like to go back as
what's
well.
going on here?
I was crying. That was our last day we were there. And that is my twin. Her name is Mackenzie as well. And we were going, I actually need to go back to Guatemala.
Well, we're not going back right now.
How about we
Yeah,
do?
no, that's not what's happening. Was she one of the ones that was in our?
Yes. And she came up to me and she told me, Paciencia es mejor. And
Yeah.
I was like, yes, it is.
So
Period.
paciencia es mejor means patience is better.
And
Patience is
más
best.
galletas.
Yes, and so we
Yes,
taught a
and
lesson, and
so
that's what we kept telling them over and over and over again. These are just some
Is-
random pictures
What
now
is
that we're showing.
happening? Oh, okay.
Caption
Yes,
this.
Period, London.
Ready? Caption this. What is this?
That's London. Just London.
Just
That's
London.
all you need.
The
is
caption
London.
is just.
Oh,
Oh,
Lucy. I never
Okay,
met
I should have
Lucy.
popped this up
I
when
never met
Addison was
Lucy
there.
either.
Mm-mm. She
Yeah.
looks really cute.
Um,
No, my little kids, it was Naomi and Nancy, and they were the.
Sure.
That is
Wait, what is your brother doing here?
He was showing off his girly nails and the little apron.
I could
He's
not.
so
This is
cutesy.
this is something
Yes.
we can torture him with
We
later on in
can.
life.
Whatever.
110%. We're
Definitely
going to.
using that for his wedding.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That is.
That's amazing. I love that. Have you guys seen that picture?
No, they just now saw it.
So again, you were able to do VBS. You were kicking behind when it came to like, especially
I was
the.
lifting just about everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I could. 110%.
You would have been so surprised if you came by and you saw basically Cheyenne and Bailey like doing all the brickwork and getting all the mud and
All
it
the
was-
concrete work. I could do most things, but lifting that concrete was.
Yeah, it was-
So you did a lot of painting.
I did a lot of painting. I did a lot of sifting. I
Mhm.
sat there like this.
Yes,
for a really long time.
You got to be with the family a bit.
Yeah.
You were there with me the day when it smelled like death.
It smelled like
It
poop.
was
The
too. It was
hole
so
was
bad.
open,
The hole
and it
was
smelled
open.
like
and oh my
sewage.
gosh, it was so bad.
The hole
No,
was
it
open.
There was a genuine like
There was
sewage,
a sewage
hole.
hole. And it was like right at the entrance, and it was just horrible.
really
It was horrible.
Yeah, so the old
And
man that
even-
lived there opened up the sewage hole and lit it on fire.
Mm.
And it
was like
smelled.
And even the family was walking by, like covering their noses, and we were trying to be respectful and like, oh,
We were.
guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah, at one
No,
point I
it was
asked
really
one of the little girls, like, what is that smell? And she goes, it's a poopy. And I was like, oh, it's disgusting.
Oh, it was so bad.
It was really gross.
So what's the big differences between like there, here? What are some things that, I mean, obviously there's a lot of differences, but what's some just big ones that might take people by surprise?
You can't flush the toilet paper.
No, you can't. Oh my gosh.
It's very sad.
It was.
You can't even try.
No.
It'll just clog the toilets
Yeah.
very quickly.
So the bathrooms all kind of smell weird. Not like poop or pee, but
No,
just
it's
kind
just
of
like
strange.
it really is. It's like a strange little scent, and it's like not the best.
It's very Guatemala.
It's very Guatemala.
Like
Yeah.
it smmells like dirt and like that. I don't
Yep.
even know what it is.
I don't know. It's just it has its own little smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a big difference. You can't.
You can't drink the water.
No.
I mean, they can drink the water because their stomachs are
They're
used to it.
used to
Can't
it.
drink
We
the
can't
water.
drink the water.
So while you guys are here, I'll share kind of my story.
Okay.
So I got really constipated. It's like the first couple days, like nothing was moving. 2 or 3 days, and like
You
this,
should have asked Katie about that.
nothing was moving, and other people like they were moving freely. I was stuck, and I thought, you know, you can get unstuck. Just drink
Well,
some of the
because
water.
If you drink the water, you poop your pants.
So
you blow.
I drank some of the water, and I flowed freely. Let me tell you. The,
You just said that on the internet.
the plug was unleashed. It was. If you go with us next time to Guatemala, do not drink the water.
Don't drink the water,
Don't,
guys.
it's really bad. Don't drink the water like we're being so for real.
No, not even if
not
you're
It wasn't
clogged.
even- it
Not
wasn't
even if
worth
you're
it.
clogged. Don't do it.
You can't even use it to brush your teeth. Use a bottle of water to brush your teeth. And I don't like
Yeah,
that.
so those are big differences. You've probably done it before. I think you did it too, but delivering groceries and goods to
yes.
homes. So chat about that for a sec.
Okay, so there was this one house, and it had abuela. She was amazing. She was laughing about everything because like the language barrier was so rough. But like she was just so happy, and she was like so happy that we were there. And she was hard of hearing. And was it her daughter? Abuela. Yeah, her grandma.
Was this the lady that was trying to show you her,
No, that was the
She's
first.
trying to do what? Oh, her boobs.
show you her
show
pain spots
the
or something?
ninnies.
Well, she had breast cancer.
Oh, she had breast
She
cancer.
had breast cancer,
Oh, yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, I show." We're like,
No,
no,
we don't want
No,
to-
please, no.
Yeah.
But Abuela was amazing, and yeah, she said she said, "I'm the grandmother," and then whenever we were leaving, she was like, "Everyone, give me a hug now."
Oh.
And we're like, "Okay, yes,
We will.
yes,
Yeah.
Abuela."
Every time that I've done the delivery of like the groceries and the goods, it's always just really humbling to see how other people live and
Mhm.
how we sometimes complain about the silliest things.
Yeah,
Like, oh, the TV's not working or something, and they're like, their living conditions are far different than ours.
absolutely.
I did food delivery twice on our last time I went. So I've been twice before. And last time I went to somebody's house and it was literally a shack. And it was being held up with cardboard boxes and trash bags. And like they don't even think it's that bad. They're like, yes, it's beautiful and it looks so good. And they cleaned it up. And I'm like, you don't even know what you could be living in. And it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think it's really important for us, and I've said it too, that it's not an us and a them. Like we're all humans together. They're just
Yeah.
experiencing this world in a different way.
Mhm.
And sometimes their way is maybe not as superficially great as ours,
Yeah.
but a lot of times the community that they have,
Awesome
it's
community.
amazing.
like
Yeah.
the fact that they just share and it's
The fact
it's
that
so
everybody
different.
is accepted as like an aunt or an uncle. And once you come in, you're in. Like you can't leave.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
like
Yeah.
instant family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they look out for each other. It's just a different thing. So in some of the ways that we think we're rich, we are not. I'm sure they would visit us and be amazed by all the things we have and then wonder why we're so alone. So it's again, it's a blessing that we get to see that, but at the same time, it's not that we're like, oh, pity.
No,
It's
no.
Yeah.
this is just so different.
Yeah.
It's a different way. Talk about hotel life, like because we spent some time at we'd go and we'd work all day long, but then in the evenings we'd be at the hotel. We'd have food. So talk about dinner. Talk about maybe even worship time. We haven't talked about that much.
Ooh, the worship time was amazing.
Worship time was good, but I think our best worship time was unscheduled
Yes,
because
absolutely.
Braden brought his guitar and we just went out to the courtyard and worshiped, and it was so good. And their whole family could sing like crazy, and it just the harmonies. Oh, they ate every time.
The harmonies ate every time.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Okay. What about you?
Why?
Oh, the old people on the other side are saying
they're
we
just
can't
old.
use
Oh,
talk like that.
they're old. They don't understand that. They don't understand the lingo.
So how about you? Hotel life, worship,
Yeah,
food,
worship
any of that
was
stuff.
amazing. The food there, oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah. So they feed us well.
Absolutely.
That's one of the
Very.
things that the people that host us at the hotel space, they do a good job of trying to care for us, make sure that we have great food. The only time that they feed us something I don't like is always the last night. It's turkey night. And that's when I always Uber Eats tacos.
And we got Starbucks, and their Starbucks they're extra good.
Their Starbucks is so.
I don't know what makes it so good.
It's
They're-
they
they're-
use different
Oh
beans.
my
Yeah, it's their
gosh.
local beans.
Yeah, it's
like
all their
pound
local
Oh
beans.
my gosh.
Yeah.
McDonald's was amazing.
So you like us Americans? You know what we did? We went to McDonald's and Starbucks.
We got local food.
Taco
too.
Bell
We did
was
have a lot of local
beautiful.
things.
Taco Bell was
Oh
gorgeous.
my
Did you see any
gosh.
pictures of the
Had
Taco
the whole
Bell?
Do I need
courtyard
to
and
show them a picture? of-
Please.
It was so.
Is there a
pretty.
picture?
That is
Okay.
McDonald's.
That's McDonald's.
Well, they
It
don't
was
see
amazing.
anything yet.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I'm not put it up there.
just put it out.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
show this.
Yeah.
Because this is
What are you doing?
I'm putting it up
Oh.
there. So this is
The Taco
Taco
Bell.
Bell.
Is this Taco Bell?
No,
No,
that's
no,
McDonald's.
That's McDonald's.
No,
Yeah.
that's Starbucks.
Is it?
Yeah, that's Starbucks.
That is Starbucks.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
That's
That's
McDonald's.
Yes. So
This is Natalie and Braden. They're so cute.
and their McDonald's
I don't know what's
is
happening.
something.
Ah, we're
This
so
is all
cute.
McDonald's still.
Yes.
That was the streets of it.
But their McDonald's is huge.
And it has
It's-
a giant like courtyard and everything. It's
Yeah.
like
So
hold
pretty.
up.
It's insane.
And Grimace. Yes, there's Grimace. Life size Grimace.
I will find a picture of. I know you guys were riding the teeter totter at.
Yes.
Yes.
Do we? Yep. There it is.
It's
Yeah.
a giant M.
It's a
an
giant
N.
M.
Yeah, it's a giant. It's a giant
It's an
M teeter
N.
tart. That's Starbucks.
Okay, so this is them at McDonald's. So
Riding the
Guatemala
teeter
McDonald's is
totter.
huge, massive. They have a big outside
It
area.
hurt really bad.
Yeah, that doesn't look like that was.
You know,
She would not like that picture. Oh, sorry. All right, what is this? What's going on here?
Oh, I was on Micah's shoulders. We were painting the roof.
So if they had some ladders, but the ladders were kind of sketch, and there wasn't very many
There
of them.
was
Very sketch.
one of
They
them.
were very sketch.
There was only one.
There was only one, and the other one was not safe.
Oh no! I mistakenly got
You mistakenly got on the
mistakenly
unsafe
got on
one.
the unsafe one.
But that's me in the back. I'm on top of Micah.
This
He
is
has
you?
red on his head because I accidentally got paint in his hair, and so he put a headband on.
So Micah was the young man from the school that ended up being baptized, and we didn't show the part where he's shouting Jesus is Lord, and then we baptized him, and
Yeah.
it's just really cool to see a life changed. But
It was amazing.
yeah, that last day, everyone had a person on their shoulders, and we're painting, getting the roof done, all the fun stuff that goes on with doing a missions trip. All the good things that happen there. So tell everybody kind of one life change thing, one moment that you're really taking away with you, one moment that you would encourage somebody else with. What do you got? You got hiccups now. I see that.
You go.
Something.
I don't know. I just really learned to slow down. I think I go too fast, and that community. I just miss that community aspect of life, and I wish it was here. And like when I'm with people, I need to slow down.
Yeah, so slowing down. We talked one night all about pace.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great talk.
When we were on the mountain, I made Micah walk in front of me because he set a good pace.
Yeah, so life just moves a little slower there because they're not quite as connected to everything online and all that stuff, and the pace is just different, and it's hard to figure out how do I bring that similar pace back with me.
Mhm.
I think that's something I even just the first week was like, how can I do something similar? So that's a good one. What about you, Bailey?
There was a lot of peace there, like a lot of calmness. Like I got out of there, like just being able to like slow down and stop and like look at the nature and stuff, like on the mountain.
Yeah.
Like just standing there on top of it, looking at the volcano. That was just like, it was just like really cool, and seeing that God could make stuff like that was just awesome.
Yep. I thought that was a big one too, just seeing the things that God makes both in nature and humanity, all of it. It's a wonderful creation made by God. Okay, we got our last, all three of you come once, then I'm going to move. You're going to sit on a chair with me. All right, we're going to swap. Swap out. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Our last crew is coming together. I don't know. This chair is not very big to begin with.
I got it.
Okay. We're married.
Thanks for the clarity.
I'm going to give you this more.
Oh,
I can be
thanks.
loud.
Oh, you gotta.
Yep.
Here you go.
Talking to the microphone. So introduce yourselves. Tell them your name.
I'm Emily. I'm Sharon.
I'm Melanie.
So these guys went on the trip with us. If you don't know, this is a mother and her daughter. And they went on the trip, and my wife went with me. We had a great time. We had a room to ourselves with a fan. We had a fan.
We did have a fan, like a big fan.
Yeah, because there's no AC and it's stuffy.
And somebody tried to convince us to open our door and let them also have the fan, and we said no.
Exactly. That's right.
No sharing a fan.
No sharing a fan. So I want you all to share something that pops into mind when you think about the trip. And it could be something silly. It could be something serious. It could be something godly. It could be whatever you want. Just what pops into your brain when you're thinking about the trip that we were just on.
Lucy.
Lucy?
Aww.
Yeah, we showed some pictures of Lucy. She was the person that was on your guys' site.
I never got to meet Lucy.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
Yes, she was amazing.
What about you?
So the word is bugs, but it really just means new experiences. So I'm sure you've talked about Braden eating bugs. Have you talked about that yet?
Oh, yeah. We showed a picture of Braden eating bugs.
Okay, because Braden did it first, and then a whole bunch of us ate bugs.
Yeah.
But that's just a representation of all the new things that people tried and did and stepped out of their comfort zone to just be there for other people.
And the bugs that were in your room.
Oh, yes.
Sharon made a friend.
Several. Apparently. And they were big, and
How big were the bugs?
it was, the first one was that big, and it like you could hear it crawling, and I was trying to kill
Was
it.
it you that came running out of the room that night?
Probably. Yes, that was me. I was like, Marco, kill it! Marco, kill it! I can't kill it. It was
That's right.
running. I was like,
So
and
I
it
know
was
a couple
making all
different
this
people
noise.
at
I
different
couldn't.
times ran out of rooms because of bugs. I remember Taylor did at one point.
But they don't go to the second level. We were on the second level, and there's no bugs.
Oh, bummer.
Oh man.
That's what I told myself. Is they can't
Yeah,
climb.
exactly.
What about
They
you?
were in mine.
What's something that pops into your brain when you think about our trip, our time?
It was just really peaceful. I know it was a lot of work, but honestly, it was really peaceful, and it was really, not really slowing down, but being able to the community. Just the community was amazing. Working together with different people and from different backgrounds, and especially like with the construction workers there, it was just amazing. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah. Tell me about some of the things you guys did, because I don't know what everybody did, because we were all, there was probably about 60 people total that were there. Is that about what it was?
28 and 32. That's how we were divided.
32 is 60.
Yeah.
So there were 60 of us total between our church, another church, and a school that was there.
And a family.
And a family that was there as well. And so we were divided in different spaces. So tell me about a little bit what you guys did, some of the things you were able to see and do. So talk about it a little
Okay.
bit.
I worked on the house for quite a bit. I was able to do a VBS, CBS, whatever you want to call it, at a preschool that was led by the school that we were partnering with, and got to do that with a couple of our people as well. And then worked on more site and painted and rode human ladders.
Yeah. Okay.
I was able to see God and all the little children when we went on a CBS thing, and I helped a lot with painting and mixing cement, which was really tough. It was really hard. It's a lot harder than you think.
Yeah. Just turning heavy dirt all day long.
And let me
Yes.
tell you, when Emily came back from her CBS, it was led by the other church that was with us. The people were like, "We'll take these girls. We'll take them back home with us. Can we have them?" And we said, "No, they belong to us. Emily, it's ours, and you can't have her." But she's amazing with kids. So
What are you sharing?
Well, I got to work on the houses and play with the kids, and just I got to help make a belt. They were working on Lucy's belt, but I think Katie actually bought it, so they're gonna have to work on another one. but man, it was just they worked so hard for what they have, and it was really neat. And then I got to do the I think the second day we did the food distribution, and being able to pray with those families and just love on them for just even a moment was life changing. They couldn't really understand us, and the interpreter was having a hard time because they have a different dialect, from where they're from. So it was a little bit of a communication barrier, but honestly, overall, they just knew that we were coming to pray over them and to love on them, and they received it so well. And so did we. We got a big blessing out of it. And then I think just lots more building and worship.
Building.
Yeah, lots of building. And but hey, we finished on time. It was really good.
you guys got done with your houses earlier than we did.
Yeah, a little bit, but it was
Finished
good
on time.
teamwork. It was
Yeah.
great teamwork, and it was fun watching everybody work together.
So when we're talking about like
Human
houses,
ladders.
no, we're talking about
Oh, houses. Where's the one where the girls are standing side by side?
So
there
they,
it is.
They can't see this yet, but I'll put this up there so they can see it.
There.
This is what we're talking about as a house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got two girls, and you guys probably know these two girls.
They're not huge.
They're not huge, but they are. This is a home for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a roof. It's got a gutter system.
It didn't leak when it rained.
It didn't leak when it rained. It's got a firm foundation, and they were so excited to have this space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the ladies on our site was 7 months pregnant, and she's the one that when we showed the video today at church, she's just crying. And then her sister is living right next to her, and she had two little girls, and like they're gonna fit in those houses. And but it's cool to know that you created a safe, dry environment for those babies to grow up in. It's a bunch of baby girls getting to grow up in those houses.
What's going on here?
Oh,
Oh,
aww.
look at Emily.
Tell them what happened.
What is this?
So, Lucy, we were coloring, and I was holding Mushi, the cat, and Lucy comes over and she starts hugging me, and I'm like, "Oh, it's okay." And then she starts bawling her eyes out, and so I talked to one of the students from the school, and I'm like, "You need to take the cat because I'm gonna hug her." And so she started crying harder, and so then I started crying, and it was just really wholesome and sweet. I love that girl.
She was precious.
Made an impact on a lot of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So this was your guys' space.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all that free space you have in the elbow room.
Oh yeah.
Like we were painting and like bumping into each other. It's fine. It's totally fine. Not jealous at all.
You can see that everyone's the things they live in usually.
Yep. Just very different.
There's your buddy.
Mm-hmm. She decided to swap hats.
Yeah.
What's going on here? But yeah, so it was just a lot of what? Whoa, what is happening
Oh, look at their nails.
here? Wait, what was going on? Not with that.
Right
Is
there?
that Charlie?
Yep.
Yes.
They
The girls
painted their
girls
nails?
painted all the boys' nails too.
Hey, my nails did not get painted.
They didn't have any fingernail polish at our site.
Yeah, they did not
When
get
you have a 5-year-old that just like, I want to paint your nails, you're just like, okay, here
Yeah.
you go.
And all the boys said yes. Yes to
You
the
know,
dress,
we
but
had to
not the
force a
dress.
few.
Oh, we didn't show any of these.
Oh,
just
that's
so
the
people
hotel.
that was
know
our room. That
That's-
was amazing.
That's
we
the
had the
cockroach in the back.
oh, it was yes,
So
yes.
much room.
And on
That
that
room
floor,
was huge.
just hearing those little on the floor. It
Just
was
to give you guys an idea, so this is what one of the rooms looked like.
In the hotel.
This was your room, is that what you said?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't think most people took a picture of that, but it's just simple, basic, got done.
Got
what needed to
everything
get
what you
done,
need.
Yeah.
had the things we needed.
Everybody had a toilet and a shower.
Well, each room had a toilet. Everybody didn't have a toilet.
Okay, well, Dad didn't think I needed to be that clear. Did you talk about the afternoon we were translatorless? Oh, you weren't there. One afternoon on the work site, they decided to do more grocery deliveries than usual. So they took our translator from our site. And so it was me and Google Translate and Kinsey Spanish. And yeah, we walked up to the contractors in the afternoon after lunch and I put on my phone, we don't have a translator this afternoon. He reads that and he goes, yay.
It helped you figure it out.
Okay, we did it. We did it.
It was a God thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I want to just
Oh,
talk
yes.
about these moments.
Yes.
So we had
Oh,
lots
yeah.
of these moments.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on here? Talk it through a little bit.
We can't hear.
Oh, I can't hear it either.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're just talking about like
Yeah,
just
just talk
worship.
about
That was
just-
the spur of the moment worship.
Yes.
We did
was
it every night
awesome.
before actual.
So there was
time
lots
worship.
of different moments where the team just kind of gathered around and started worshiping.
Mhm.
And it was in that moment that eventually led to Micah.
It was the
Mhm.
last night, right?
Yeah, the last
And
night.
It was, but it actually started in the worship room
Yeah,
Mhm.
after worship, and then Braden went and got his guitar and decided
They
to play.
were singing for like 2 hours that night.
Mhm.
Yeah,
All the way through
It was awesome.
lights out. Yeah.
and lights out. But it's okay because it was definitely worth it. Oh, look, they were
It
jumping
was.
rope in our
They can't
little
see this.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
jumping rope in the little tiny alley in the back.
Yeah. There's your
Oh, the
bug.
bugs.
Mm.
Yes, the bugs. But like just the peace and contentment that is in Guatemala. I think everybody's probably mentioned that, but I played with bubbles with a little girl for an hour. We blew bubbles and I got tired and needed a drink and she found somebody else to go blow bubbles with her after I was done. But like just that contentment in the small things
Mhm.
is I think what everybody is always touched by
Yeah.
when we're there.
There's not as much rush and hurriedness as we have. Oh, Braden wouldn't like
That's a terrible picture.
Yeah, that's not nice. Look at Dre. and
Muzzle.
Austin.
Aw.
All the boys
Yep.
did dumb things to their hair.
Yeah, but nothing permanent. It's
Nothing
just
permanent.
We made 'em
braids and man buns. It's fine.
This is up on
Don't
top
worry
of the
about it.
mountain. I'm trying to find. Oh, this is when she
Oh.
busted her ankle.
Yep, that was Nick and
There's-
I laughing
goodness.
on the way down.
I was trying to find a picture of.
The epic picture.
No, we talked about the epic picture already.
Several times, I'm sure.
I know people that are watching this like, man, you need to slow
Move
down.
on.
Did you go to the market with us?
Maybe.
The time when
Did you
it
go
started
this
raining.
time with
No,
us?
they went back
No.
with Mark.
Yeah,
Oh.
she came
So
back
we
with
went
us.
through like the actual market. This is where people like you can see the vegetables and things on the side. But here's the thing, that is Debbie French, and I made a comment that because of her poncho and her small stature, she looked like a green goblin. And now you can't unsee it.
So weird.
We were walking single file through the market because you can't walk any wider than single file.
Yeah.
And that's where like the raw chicken
Yeah, I
is
try to
next
take
to
them through
the
there because it's
vegetables.
so different when there's just raw chickens
Oh.
and all kinds of
but
stuff.
not everybody went through.
No, not everybody went through it. But it was,
It was great.
yeah, it
We
was
didn't
an
lose
amazing
her.
trip.
It was amazing.
It was,
Mm.
I think we would all go back
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
if we could.
We all fell asleep and we slept for like 16 hours. We woke up and we're like, okay, when are we going back?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So share maybe just a final thing of what God was doing, has done, has shown, any of that, just to whether it's just an encouragement for you and an encouragement to somebody else, because a lot of people gave money towards us on this trip, and we were able to make an impact in other people's lives, but it also
God did some stuff in us that we're bringing back. So just chat that through a little bit.
I know, and I won't call her out, but at one point on the last day, I walked because our two houses were side by side, and I was kind of popping back and forth, looking at the finishing touches and just kind of directing some things. And one of our team members was like, "Stop! You don't have to be in here. I've got it. Like you can go take care of the other house." And just it was such a good reminder for me of like I don't have to do everything because I like to have my hands in all the things, but there are other people that are more competent, more capable than I am, and just to remember that like to let other people do things, I can just sit back and do the things that I can do, but let them be in charge and do the things that they can do. And guess what? We'll get it done twice as fast.
What about one of y'all?
Definitely teamwork. Teamwork is great because even though there was a language barrier, we could understand each other. Like there was a moment when I just like looked at Lucy and we just stared at each other and we're just like, okay. And like it was just awesome.
Yeah.
And it was definitely life changing for us.
I just want to bring back that love. It was in that community, and I want that community to be here and help us to work together. And just even through the hard times, we are there for each other. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I would just encourage our church, as you guys are watching this, continue to give generously towards missions. One of the great things about this trip is that nobody had to really super duper stress about having the support to be able to go on this trip. And that's because our church was generous. Our people that were on the trip were able to do a good job of raising funds and reaching out to people that bless them as well. But it's amazing when you can send somebody out to do something and they come back understanding that, man, there's so much to do here too. That this love of Jesus can be spread in so many different ways, but sometimes it takes that little bit of a spark to push somebody to the next space. So our plan is to do this again at some point, whether it's upcoming in the fall or next summer. We want to continue to be a church that does missions locally, that does missions nationally, that does missions globally, and whether that's through sending people, sending money. We already give towards organizations that do things all over the world. We want to also send, especially if you can send young people. There's something so powerful and special in doing that. So continue to just be willing to pour out, to invest. Thank you guys for being a church that I know you guys prayed for us. I had lots of texts just saying, hey, we're praying for you. Hope things are going well. So thank you. Prayer makes a huge difference. We prayed a random prayer and we prayed, God, allow people that can't speak Spanish to speak Spanish. And we saw that happen a couple times. And some of y'all might think that's weird. You can get over it because it talks about it in the Bible, and I saw it happen
multiple times.
And God is good, and He can help us to speak when we need to speak if we're sharing His message in His love. And He's a good God, and we have lots of there's so many stories. Some of these spaces that you weren't able to see, that weren't here with us tonight. If you know someone on the trip, just ask them. Say, hey, tell me about your trip. How was it? Tell me something funny. Tell me something great. There were so many just like now insider jokes. Like now the car that I rode with, we know what crotch candy is. Like, because we had a bunch of candy spill while somebody was holding it in between their legs.
I'm really glad I was in a different car.
You come back with these ridiculous, like little insider language type stuff.
Yeah, people barking at each other.
Yeah, people barking at each other.
Oh yeah.
And there's just a bond that happens that can't happen in any other type of a way.
Came home sleeping wrapped and stinky.
Yeah, but just continue to pray that God continues to shape us and mold us into a church that is all about helping people to meet Jesus, love Jesus, follow after Jesus. And it starts with just simple things of even just serving on Sundays, serving during the week. Like sometimes it takes that first big step even to come back and take a regular step. And it's amazing how many people will take a huge step and then we don't do the consistent steps. And so I would encourage all of us, man, be consistent and take the big ones at the same time. Let God lead us, guide us, direct us. He is a good God, and He'll equip us to do things that we never thought we were going to be able to. It was amazing watching a lot of y'all that never had been flying anywhere, hadn't been out of the country, and seeing God do some amazing things through just our obedience and our saying, okay, I'll be your hands, I'll be your feet. It's that simple thing that we say, God loves you, God has a plan for you, and His plan isn't for you to just sit there. His plan is for you to follow Him, and then He will make you into something, but we've got to be willing to follow. So I thank you guys for being obedient, stepping up, going. I thank you for putting up with me, man. She ran this thing. You should have seen her when the other like schools and churches showed up, and she's like, "I got this." She came with the checklists, and we were rocking and rolling because Mama Melanie was on point. So we always knew where we were supposed to be. That's right. But just again, let's be the church out there. We say it every Sunday, and I don't want it just to be rote things that we repeat back on a Sunday. I want it to be something on a Monday or a Tuesday that I'm thinking through. How am I being the church out there? How am I helping someone to meet Jesus, to love Jesus, to follow after him? And we all do it differently. We've all been equipped with different skills and abilities, but all of us have that same mission. It's not just from us as a church, it's something that Jesus called us to do, to go and make disciples. That's what my favorite thing was, seeing someone that we were able to baptize. So just a couple of years ago, we were able to baptize somebody that went with us on this trip. And then watching that young man lead somebody else to Jesus and him baptize someone. It's people helping people. That's one disciple discipling another disciple. And it is just an incredible thing to be a part of that type of work. So let's keep it up. Let's keep praying. Let's keep going. Thank you guys for joining us. I know it was kind of chaotic and crazy. Lots of wild stories and different things. And you've seen so many people share pictures online, but just it was a great moment, a great time. And just thank you guys. And we will see you next time. Peace out.